Last week, the IRS published 12 FAQs related to new Section 965. The IRS says that failure to submit tax returns according to these FAQs may result in difficulties in processing tax returns, including rejection, processing delays, or erroneous notices being issued. Q&A 1 discusses who is required to report amounts under Section 965. Q&A 2 addresses how amounts under Section 965 are to be reported on 2017 tax returns, and this Q&A refers you to a table in an appendix. For individuals filing Form 1040, the 965A inclusion amount and the 965C deduction are shown as a net amount on line 21, Other Income, with the description of Sec 965. The gross amounts under Section 965A and 965C are shown on the 965 Transition Tax Statement, which we will discuss in a moment. The 965A amount and the 965C deduction are included on Form 1116 to compute the foreign tax credit. If a 962 election is being made, then the deemed paid foreign tax credits under Section 960 are included on Form 1118, but are reduced by the amount disallowed under Section 965G. If the taxpayer is a shareholder of an S corporation and is electing to defer the net tax liability under Section 965I, you reduce on page 2, line 44, the amount of the net tax liability and check box C on line 44 and write 965 to the right of the box. If the taxpayer is electing to pay in installments, include in total on page 2, line 73, the amount to be paid in installments for the years beyond 2017 and check box D and write tax in the box to the right. For S corporations, include the 965A amount on Schedule K, line 10, and the 965C deduction on Schedule K, line 12D. For partnerships, include the 965A amount on Schedule K, line 11, and the 965C deduction on Schedule K, line 13D. Although the table indicates that foreign tax credits are not applicable, footnote 6 refers you to Q&A 9, which indicates that a statement should be attached to the K-1s with the information necessary for domestic corporate partners and individuals making 962 elections to compute deemed paid foreign tax credits. For C corporations completing Form 1120, the 965A amount and the 965C deduction are not included on the form. Instead, these amounts are reported on the 965 Transition Tax Statement. Similarly, the deemed paid foreign taxes are not reported on Form 1118, but instead are reported on the statement. Include the 965 net tax liability on Schedule J, line 11. Include the amount to be paid in installments for years after 2017 on Schedule J, line 19D. Q&A 3 explains what information must be reported and refers to a 965 Transition Tax Statement that the IRS has created for taxpayers to complete. This statement must include the 965A inclusion amount, the aggregate foreign cash position, the 965C deduction, the deemed paid foreign taxes associated with the inclusion, the deemed paid foreign taxes disallowed, the net tax liability, the amount of the net tax liability to be paid in installments, and the net tax liability that has been deferred under Section 965I relating to S corporation shareholders. The statement also includes any elections that the taxpayer is making under Section 965. The statement must be signed under penalties of perjury. Q&A 4 briefly discusses the elections available under Section 965. Q&A 5 discusses who can make elections under Section 965 and provides that the IRS will soon be providing further guidance concerning the availability of the elections for partners, S corporation shareholders, and beneficiaries and other pass-through entities. Q&A 6 provides that elections with respect to Section 965 must be made by the due date, including extensions for filing the tax return. However, if an election is made under Section 965H to pay the tax in installments, the first installment must be paid by the due date without extensions for filing the tax return. For calendar year individuals and C corporations, the first installment must be paid by April 17, 2018. Q&A 7 explains how an election under Section 965 is made and provides links to statements the IRS has prepared related to the elections. Q&A 8 provides that a person who was a U.S. shareholder of a specified foreign corporation during 2017 must file a Form 5471 for the specified foreign corporation. Q&A 9 explains that a domestic partnership, S corporation, or other pass-through entity should attach a statement to its K-1s to include various information. For example, I already mentioned that the statement should include information necessary for a domestic corporate partner or an individual making a Section 962 election to compute its deemed paid foreign tax credits with respect to its share of the 965A inclusion amount. Q&A 10 indicates that a taxpayer should make two separate payments. One payment reflecting tax owed without regard to Section 965, and a second separate payment reflecting tax owed resulting from 965. Both payments must be paid by the due date of the tax return without extensions. The Q&A explains how the payments should be made. Q&A 11 requests that individual taxpayers who electronically file their Form 1040 file on or after April 2, 2018. Lastly, Q&A 12 indicates that a person who has already filed a 2017 tax return should consider filing an amended return.